Hi guys, over here I do have the Redmi Watch 6 and in this video I'll be taking you through the unboxing, specifications, build quality and interesting features that comes with the Redmi Watch 6. Basically I'll be giving you my first look of this device, and then thankfully I also do have the Redmi Watch 5 active over here with me. So as I am unboxing and telling you everything about the Redmi Watch 6, I will also be comparing it with the Redmi Watch 5 active, which as we already know was actually a very good device. But now we have a new and improved Redmi Watch 6, so let's go ahead and unbox and then find out what is inside of this box. So just flip like so and then tear this up. I think you just have to pull from the bottom. So here we have it, and just at the surface we have the Redmi Watch 6 itself. You can see how good the packaging is, and then inside of this other compartment we have both a paper manual and the charging cable as well. So if you come over here, we have this charging cable, and from the look of things it is actually the same as the one of the previous year. So if I open this up like so, you can see that it is magnetic, so it will be quite hard for you to just misplace it. And then on the other side of this compartment here we have the paper manual that also contains your warranty as well. This is actually a huge manual. So let's go ahead and just open up the Redmi Watch 6 itself. So just open this up like so. And then this one over here, I'm not going to lie, the packaging is quite good. It actually feels like I'm unboxing a very premium device, and trust me, this actually looks a little bigger than I thought. However, Redmi is telling us that this is a more sleek, slim and more premium device because this actually has an aluminum frame compared to what you would get from the Redmi Watch 5 active. So the Redmi Watch 5 active is actually a plastic frame. You can see this is actually plastic, but then in the Redmi Watch 6 we have an aluminum frame. Now you're also going to notice that here we have this scrollable crown, but then we do not have that on the Redmi Watch 5 active or any of the Redmi Watch 5 series at all. So we just have a button for controlling the device. Keep in mind that there are actually 3 color options for the Redmi Watch 6 as well. So we have the obsidian black, which is the one I got, and then there is the silver gray and the gracia blue color as well. For the Redmi Watch 5 series and the Redmi Watch 5, we only have 2 color options. But personally, I do like the black, so that is why I got the black for this. And then I also got the black when the Redmi Watch 5 active was actually released as well. Now, if I go ahead to open up the straps of the Redmi Watch 6, you're going to notice that they actually have different straps, and honestly I do like the straps of the Redmi Watch 5 active more than that of the Redmi Watch 6, though they're actually the same type of straps. But the Redmi Watch 6 has a curved part over here, so it is actually just gripping to your hands. But then if you try out the Redmi Watch 5 or the Redmi Watch 5 active like this one I have over here, you're going to notice that it is just directly flat, and this makes it a lot more easier to just put on your hands than the curved one over here. Now you might think that this is easier, but honestly after using the Redmi Watch 5 active over time, it is actually easier to use this because you can't even place this like this on a flat surface. It is most likely just going to bend and fall, and you know that is not what you want. But then you can do all of that with the Redmi Watch 5 active as well. Now another thing which is actually a very huge difference between the Redmi Watch 6 and every other Redmi Watch 5 series is the fact that this is actually an AMOLED display, but then for the Redmi Watch 5 you're just going to get an LCD screen. However, you should keep in mind that they actually run the same Xiaomi Hyper OS, which is actually a very good one. So with the Xiaomi Hyper OS that was introduced I think in the Redmi Watch 5 and the Redmi Watch 5 active, it made this device a lot more smoother, and Xiaomi is actually introducing that to the Redmi Watch 6 as well. Now quickly putting both devices together, you're also going to notice that the Redmi Watch 6 is actually thinner than the Redmi Watch 5 active. You can see the Redmi Watch 6 is actually 9.9 mm thick, but the Redmi Watch 5 active I think is about 11.3 mm thick. In terms of the size of the display, the Redmi Watch 5 Active is also bigger. So this is slimmer, and at the same time it has a smaller display than the Redmi Watch 5 Active. But I also think that over time, when Redmi decides to release the Redmi Watch 6 Active, it is also going to be a bigger display, because this is just the base version of the Redmi Watch 6. They are also going to release the Redmi Watch 6 Active over time, which should obviously come with a bigger display like the Redmi Watch 5 Active I have over here. The Redmi Watch 6 is actually a 46 by 40 mm display size, but then the Redmi Watch 5 Active over here is actually a 49 by 40 mm display, so it is slightly bigger than the Redmi Watch 6. To turn on this device, you would have to long press on the power button over here. Just press and hold it for some seconds, and just like so. I even think the booting screen is also a little different than what you get on the Redmi Watch 5 or the Redmi Watch 5 Active as well. Another thing you would notice is that the bezels on the Redmi Watch 6 is actually smaller than what you would get on the Redmi Watch 5. So if I open up this just like so, you can see that the bezels are actually larger over here, but then it is smaller on the Redmi Watch 6. But then, honestly speaking, there is not so much difference that has been made over time with other specifications. For instance, the Redmi Watch 6 actually has a 550 mAh battery. And with that battery, Xiaomi is telling us that this can actually last up to 24 days. But then that 24 days is actually for slight usage. So on a normal usage, you should be getting about 12 days of battery life. And then on a very heavy usage, you're going to get about 7 days of battery life. Now, you might think that this is actually a lot, but then if you compare this with the Redmi Watch 5 Active that actually came with about 470 mAh battery, according to Xiaomi, this is actually supposed to last for just 18 days on slight usage, and then you actually get up to 12 days again like the Redmi Watch 6 now on a normal usage of the Redmi Watch 5 Active. And I think during heavy usage you should actually get up to 7 days of battery life. So it is not so much different, even though the battery capacity according to Xiaomi is different. One other thing I noticed is that if you try to use the scrollable crown over here on the Redmi Watch 6, it is actually not so strong. The haptic feedback is actually very weak. This might improve with the Redmi Watch 6 Active when it is released, but then for now this is actually a very good one, because aside from using the scrollable crown, you can also use your hand to just scroll through the screen, just as we have always done on the Redmi Watch 5 Active. This is actually water resistant. According to Xiaomi, it is 580M water resistant. I don't know what that means, but obviously according to the specifications of this one as well, it is also 580M water resistant. So they're actually quite similar in a lot of ways. The Redmi Watch 6 also comes with Bluetooth 5.4. It has a built-in microphone. I think this is where the speaker is, and then a built-in microphone just over here. You can see the microphone over here, and then this is actually the speaker. And then according to Redmi, this also has about 512 megabytes of storage. It comes with all of the sports features you would find on other previous models of Redmi watches, like your sports modes. I think it comes with about 140 different sports you can actually practice with this smartwatch, and when using the device it actually has up to 60 fps, which is a very good one for daily usage. And when using it outside as well, it is very bright. I think about 2000 nits brightness, so Redmi did a very good job with that one. Now finally, when it comes to the weight of this device, it is actually 31 kg, which is not so much different from the Redmi Watch 5 Active. So this is actually 30.6, and if you approximate it, they are actually the same thing. Now finally, based on all of these, will I recommend the Redmi Watch 6 to anyone? The answer is both yes and no. Now you see, I have actually used this device for a couple of days now, and I've tried some of the interesting features that comes with it. Obviously, the AMOLED display is a very good one, and the scrollable crown actually makes this device look a lot more premium. There are also other inbuilt features like the compass we have over here, which is something you would not find on the Redmi Watch 5. It also now has a recorder, as you can see from over here. And with all of these features, I would definitely recommend the Redmi Watch 6, especially if you do have the money to get it. However, because this device is not so much different from the Redmi Watch 5 Active, you may not be missing out on a lot if you get the Redmi Watch 5 Active instead as well. This is particularly for those that might be considering the price difference between both devices. And that will be all for this video, guys. If you find this video useful, please let me know in the comment section and subscribe to this YouTube channel, guys.